Can the killer of gods defeat the mortal that surpasses them all?
This is for everyone you've killed! England murderer!
Hold your fire! This man isn't black!
You know Goku, I know Goku. And since he doesn't have a real linear backstory that won't take about an hour to tell, here's a quick synopsis. So basically, there's a monkey from space from a planet called Planet Vegeta, where everyone's basically sexually attracted to fighting. The planet then goes boom boom by some zesty lizard. But right before the big boom boom, Goku was sent off to Earth where he was trained by a turtle man named Roshi. Later on when he's more grown, a bad man claiming to be the prince of his race comes to try to fight Goku. Which I didn't know each race is supposed to have a king, but hey, I can really take the job if y'all want. The blacks love me, kind of like Trump. The bad man takes Goku's balls, so Goku goes to space to try to get him back. And by the time he's back, he's all blonde with blue eyes and claiming to be the superior version of his race. Might be racist, but hey, Goku, you do you. With the backstory out of the way, let's go. The world started one of his most famous fights were one of the 12 gods of destruction, Beerus, in which the clashes were so strong it almost threatened to destroy the whole microcosm, which is an infinite fourth dimensional construct that holds different dimensions. He did this using one of his more newer forms, Super Saiyan God, which is just Goku with red hair but cool, which later gets absorbed into his base. Then during the Tournament of Power, he defeats someone that's stronger than all the other gods of destruction, and also Zamasu, which is someone that fuels his whole microcosm, which would put Goku's strength somewhere around low multiversal. Now let's talk about his speed. He was shown and stated to be jumping 0.2 of a second ahead during his fight with Hit.
That fight with Hit, when you were predicting his moves, you weren't just guessing. You were forcing your way into the future for an advantage, weren't you?
Yeah, I saw.
Since he was literally jumping into the future, I'd give him around immeasurable speed. Now, let's talk about the God of War. But before we start talking about Daddy Kratos, can you please hit the subscribe button? I'm trying to reach 1K subs. Thank you. Kratos is the love child of Zeus and a mortal named Callisto. Hera, enraged that Zeus has been sleeping with other girls that ain't her, she orders that Kratos be killed on his birthday. Literally his birthday. But Zeus chose to spare Kratos' life, a decision that he'd later on regret. Y'all ain't know how many times I've repeated that same line. His mom raises him in Sparta and then has another son. Apparently Zeus couldn't get enough of those cheeks. Clap, clap, clap. Let's move on. Zeus learns of a prophecy that one day one of his many kids will kill him. His name, the Mark the Warrior. So scared he finna get smoked, he sends Athena and Ares, aka the OG gods of destruction, to go find and kill that fatherless child. But how you gonna be the king of the gods and still be scared of child support? That's crazy. Personally, couldn't be me. Athena and Ares mistake Kratos' brother Deimos as the Mark the Warrior due to a birthmark that he had. Kratos thought he was him and tried to fight Ares, but Ares just basically little manned him and gave him a scar on his right eye. This sparked a deep resentment for the gods, and he swore that one day he's gonna get his get back. As time moves on, he gets a wife, a kid, he goes from Spartan soldier to Spartan general. You know, life was looking good for him. Like, bro had 1,000 men, you know? What else would you want? And then his daughter Calliope gets sick, and then he has to go fight in a battle royale to get some ambrosia, which is basically the food of the gods, but it can also heal any disease you got. One time later, Kratos meets a barbarian army that rivals the strength of his own army. The leader, Auric, sees Kratos and was like, "Hey, yo, ain't that the ashy crackhead that stole the ambrosia leading to my dad's death? Man, I'ma jump him." So he does just that. He jumps Kratos. Kratos, noticing that he's low on health and is about to get sent back to the waiting lobby, pledges his allegiance to the God of War. In return, the death of Auric and all his barbarian army. Ares agrees and gives Kratos his signature weapons, the Blade of Chaos. A pair of blades chained to his arms which he uses to stomp Auric, and many more after. As he was doing his routine raiding and pillaging, with a little bit of bloodlusted pixie dust sprinkled on him by Ares, he sees this temple that the old oracle told him not to enter, but due to the bloodlust pixie dust, he pushes her aside and kills the woman and child in there. But plot twist! The woman and child in there were his wife and kids! Don't get funnier than that! Who were placed there by Ares? The man's meat he's been sucking on for the past 5 years! All to make Kratos a more bloodlusted killer by taking away his family. But apparently, making someone kill their wives and kids won't make them more loyal to you. Like, who would have thought of that? Personally, I think Kratos should have just talked to him and said, "Oh, I don't like you doing that." After blentifying his family, Kratos swears revenge on all the gods and denounces his deal with Ares. But before he could leave, the oracle curses his skin with the ashes of his wife and kid. Scaling time. Filled with hatred for the gods, Kratos kills them all. He took the life of Poseidon, someone that can one-shot the Atlas. Someone who holds the whole universe on his back. This same Poseidon could only beg for his life at the feet of Kratos. He killed the god of death, killing death itself, and resisted getting his snow snatched by Hades, and then afterwards getting the power to reap souls whenever he wanted. He ends the life of the king of gods, Zeus. The same Zeus that can beat all the other gods but can't stand to Kratos. Zeus even tried to use the Blade of Olympus on Kratos, a blade that bypasses immortality. So Kratos literally climbs out of hell and uses the time travel ability that he got from the Sisters of Fate to spin back on Zeus one more time, and this time winning. He game ends Zeus' father, the god of time Kratos, with whose birth literally created the whole infinite universe, who defeated his father, the man that fought for eternity, and in the process of him fighting created the whole cosmos. The same man fell to Kratos' feet. He rocked Boulder during their fight. The same Boulder that 3-shot at the world serpent Jormungandr. The same Jormungandr that during his fight with Thor, it shook the 9 realms. The fight was even so great that it sent Jormungandr back in time. And again, in another battle with Thor, it splintered the world tree, with branches that spread out through time and space alike. All this easily puts his strength at hyperversal. And since he was able to dodge Hellas' light beams which stretch out to an infinite hell, I can confidently say he has immeasurable speed. So I think it's safe to say that the Ghost of Sparta, Kratos, is stronger than Goku. And in a 1v1 would absolutely slam Goku. Not to even mention the fact that he stabbed himself with the blade of Olympus, willingly, and then disagrees to the concept of him dying. Like, how do you disagree to the concept of you dying? And he can't truly die being the keeper of hope, which means as long as there's hope in the universe, he'd always come back. Hi guys, yeah, I know. Ben, where have you been? You haven't posted in about a month. I know. So first, I've been sick. I've written like 6 scripts and recorded it and didn't like the sound of it, so I deleted it. Like, I didn't even really like the sound of this video, but since I haven't posted in about like a month or 2, I just had to put something out there, just to see how it does. I promise for the rest of the year, I won't disappear. I'm going to try big tries to post at least once a week or at least once every 2 weeks. But I'm pretty sure I can do once a week. There's only like 4 weeks left of the month of the year. So, yeah. L Brits, y'all lost to us 0-0. I know it's a tie score, but hey, we don't really play soccer like that, and y'all do, so that means we better. So yeah, see y'all. Free Young Thug, free Gunna.